was worth the trip. I have 4 brothers, and no one's ever spoken to me like that. To wait 53 freaking years, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, thank you, Mark. I'm here in part to pay homage to your work and Save the Children, which has moved me and really affects so many millions of kids and mothers and individuals around this country. And I am in awe of the work that you do. I'm also here to pay tribute to the other women who are honored here today. I don't know what Mark was talking about. I wear Columbia sportswear. I shop at Talbot's. I go to Saks. I put Elizabeth Arden's products all over me, and I watch Mika all the time. So I don't know what he was only singling out Saks, but it's true. My mother went from Elizabeth Arden's to Saks. So it is an honor to be here with these other women who are so extraordinary and who spoke so beautifully. I want your daughter, Deborah, to talk to my daughter, who bought a new dress for the prom, who had her hair and makeup done, and who, ragged on me the whole time. You don't think I could go to the prom in an old dress, so I think your daughter could come out to LA and, start a business. Dealing with all these girls who feel like they have to have everything brand new, et cetera. So that's it. Before she goes to Mount Holyoke, it could be a good summer gig. Probably make all of us mothers out there would hire her. But it was a joy listening to every single woman up here. And Stuart, nothing like this gets done in 6 hours. I don't know what he thought, that you had 6 meetings and all this just happens like that. Men kind of think that stuff pops up like this. It's okay, I guess. Every time I leave home and I call and ask my husband how everything, he goes, it's fine, this is so easy. It's all organized, I followed the list, I got it under control, don't worry, it's just a breeze. I don't know why you always say it's so difficult. I'm like, okay. Anyway, I identified with what Mika was saying about feeling unworthy of this. I think all of us who have ever mothered have wondered what in the name of God we're doing. I come here on this trip having just taken my daughter's BlackBerry away, and she told me I will live to regret it. My 19-year-old isn't speaking to me. I think it's the exams, but it could be something else. My 15-year-old son is on Facebook 24 hours a day and selling the clothes I gave him off his back. And my 11-year-old son called me 5 times yesterday to remind me that I was missing his spring performance because I had something else to do, and did I feel bad? Because he felt really bad, and he was really sad. And then he left me a message at midnight last night how sad he was. And did I know that I had missed his performance? So I come here today not feeling so great about my motherhood, but honored to be honored. And I was having dinner last night with somebody, and I said to them, how are you? And they said, excellent. I'm like, really? You're like, excellent? He said, well, you're only as good as your kids are, and my kids today are excellent, so I'm excellent. And I thought that's really so true, that we gauge how we are, how we're doing based on whether our kids are talking to us, whether they're doing well in school, whether they haven't said I hate you lately, or whether they said they love me or whatever. I told my kids I was getting this award, and they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm getting this award, so don't do anything bad on Thursday. I'm gonna be there in New York, so don't call me on Thursday, don't get in trouble at school, just let me get through Thursday. And well, I'm there, and they said, did Mark have something to do with this? I said, no, actually, I think other people kind of voted for me. They're like, yeah, all right. But I don't know if that, I don't know, did you vote? I don't know how I got here, but anyway, okay. Whatever. I think that's true. For me, motherhood is something I was terrified of, truly terrified to do, because I knew what a big job it was. And I was raised, Timmy, 4 brothers, and we were raised by a force of human nature. And I always was intrigued by my mother because she was so different. She was the only woman that I knew growing up that smoked cigars. She dressed in tweed pants and had pencils coming out of her hair, and I would ask her to park way far away when she would come to pick me up at school, because she'd have on like tweed pants and her hair was flying, and all my brothers were in the car screaming with dogs, and I thought, all the other mothers came all dressed up, but like they had just been to Saks or Elizabeth, and my mother was like, wow, you know, and I was like, what is that? She's insane. And then not too long ago, I was driving to pick up my kids, and I had dogs in the car, and my hair was like this. I had on boots, and I was like, oh, I've become my mother. And how lucky, actually, I would be to become my mother. And as a mother now myself, I marvel at the job, the extraordinary job our mother did. I'm best friends today with my 4 brothers. If I could choose to be with anybody on the planet, it would be with them. And I always look at my mother and I say, how did you do that? How did you raise 5 kids who like each other, who talk pretty much every day, who are competitive but who laugh and who would kill for each other? How'd you do that? And how'd you create a marriage of 56 years and the guy just thinks you hung the moon and adores your every move? How'd you start the largest program for the intellectually disabled in the world? How'd you do all that? And you laughed and you changed the world. And I look at her and I go, wow, what an act to follow. And all of the incredible mothers that I have met through my mother and through my work, I am in awe at what women accomplish. Single mothers, mothers who are in traditional families, non-traditional families. I always say mothers work 24/7 on the front lines of humanity. And the greatest gift I think mothers give to this nation are children who feel loved, who feel empowered, who feel somebody made the bed warm for them, and who feel they were mothered above all else. Because I truly do believe that that it is a job that should be honored on a daily basis, and that we don't honor women enough for the incredible, uncompensated, tireless, selfless, 24 hours a day job that they wonder about, that they feel unworthy about, and they think someone else is doing it better all the time. And I feel very humbled, I think, like Mika was saying, to be in this group of women and to be honored for something that is an honor to do. It is an honor to be a mother. And it is an honor to have been raised by my mother, and it is an honor really to have been mothered by so many other women in my life. I think as I've gotten older and as my mother has become frailer, I find myself needing to be mothered at the age of 53 by other women who have stepped up in my life to help me, not just with my own children, but to help me in my life. So I always say that's a great gig for everybody who's feeling an empty nest, that there is some woman like me out there who needs to be honored, needs to be mothered all the time, because the gift of mothering just keeps on giving. And it makes you feel loved, motherhood done right. It makes you feel worthy. It makes you feel of value, and it makes you feel like you deserve to be in the room. And so for every woman in this room who has a child, I share this award with you. For every woman in this room who has not chosen or could not have a child, but who has mothered another human being, and I know everybody out there has done that, I share this award with you. And for all the millions of people who juggle so many different things and never get recognition because perhaps their jobs aren't well known or they don't know the right people. And I meet them every day in my work. They are juggling aging parents, they are juggling food stamps, they are juggling poverty, and they have a smile on their face, and their kids feel loved. So I share this award with them. And I want to thank you for honoring me for, as my kids say, you better wait and see how we turn out, but for a job that I will continue to do and try to do until my dying day. And I share this award also with my mother, who, if she could be here today, she would. She would say, that's nice, but move it along. Let's get on to something else. Keep going. She used to always say to us, I don't want to hear one more yip out of you. And but she would love that I'm being honored as a mother, because she always said, even though she worked her whole life, she always said to me, the greatest thing you will ever do is to be a mother. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever let anybody demean that role to you, and never ever doubt that it is the most important role you will ever have in your life. So thank you so much. It's a joy to be in New York. It's a joy to be here supporting Mark and his work, and to supporting an organization that understands the importance and the value of motherhood. Thank you.